now we start to look at a real shift, of course, in Donne's poetry, the Holy Sonnets, which, later in life Donne becomes, he's washed off this past of being a rogue. He's disavowed his younger verses, these sexualized poetry as silly and not to really be acknowledged. And now he's a very prominent figure in the church in England, and his sermons are quite famous, and he writes these immense holy sonnets to God. I'm just going to try and give a reading of them and try and make sense of what's going on. Thou hast made me, and shall thy work decay? So if you created me, are you going to allow me to fall apart? How is that possible? Repair me now, for now mine end doth haste. I'm getting close to the end, so it's not a request. It's almost a demand to be repaired. That's an interesting. I run to death, and death meets me as fast, and all my pleasures are like yesterday. I love that line. Joy is in the past. Death is upon him, and it's personified. He's running to it, it to him. I dare not move my dim eyes anyway. Despair behind and death before doth cast such terror. So behind him is despair, and death is in front of him, and he's terrified. And feebled flesh, his weakened flesh doth waste by sin in it. So sin is destroying him, decaying him, which it towards hell doth weigh. So he's weighed down. It's pushing him down. It's pulling him to hell. Only thou art above, and when towards thee by thy leave I can look, when I'm allowed to, when you give me permission and I can look above to you, I rise again. But our old subtle foe so tempteth me, that not 1 hour I can myself sustain. So, but who is this old subtle foe? What is this temptation, I wonder? I wonder if this rise again is a pun. If there is some sense that sexual temptation, that's what it might be, I don't know. It's left abstract. That not 1 hour I can myself sustain, so I can't even last an hour without being tempted. Thy grace may wing me to prevent his art. So, see, look, you made me, and are you going to allow this? Look, if you give me grace, you can allow me to rise up and prevent this from happening. And thou, like adamant, draw mine iron heart. I love that last line. Adamant, incredibly hard substance, and now like adamant, so you're like iron. Draw mine iron heart. So you make me strong with your grace, even though I have a weight, you can lift me up. So even though the iron heart is this image that's quite heavy, he can draw that strength, that verb draw, that wing me, that will pull him up. And he's asking, he's in a way he's demanding, look, do this right now. So this is a prayer, but it's one that says, it's almost in a really kind of subtle way, demanding that God take responsibility for what it's made and not allow it to fall apart.